eat. Fort Mill Barbecue took care of us today, again. We had some had a pretty decent spread this morning for Mamali's too, so getting taken care of really well. Thanks to Robert Enriquez and Brian Bowers, Brian McDowell, Les Porter, Roy Morgeron, Tyler Ford, Keith Schilling. Also Frank back there on camera with LEC Media. Also thanks to Red Ventures for the after party. And also there's an after party tonight over at Blackfin, sponsored by Universal Business Listings. So make sure 8 o'clock that you head on over to Blackfin and get your party on, as they say. And there's the chirp. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, Jim, you kicked us off today. We had Brandon Utley come in as well. We had Brian Chappell and Joe Hall. For the second part of the day, we're also going to take a look at the future of mobile, local, and social. We're going to take a look at infographic design, social media, and trademark protection. We've got email marketing success. Andy Beal, though, is up next. He's going to kick off the second half of the day, a guide to link building. Andy?
Let's see. I've got instructions here. They're giving us instructions. Please stand between microphones and speak up. So it's like this, I guess. Right. All right. So great. Well, I got the job of keeping you energized after a great lunch, because I don't know what happens is you have lunch and you start kind of falling a little bit asleep. And I've been asked to talk a little bit about link building for you SEO guys. And the problem is I'm not much of a link builder per se. I'm not your traditional link builder. So this is why it's a work in progress. If you like what I have to say, then it's at Andy Beal. If you don't, it's at Joe Hall. Okay, so just so that we know. So I'm going to try and kind of work this out. The problem is, like as I said, I'm not really much of a link builder. So when I was asked to come and do a topic on building links, I kind of thought, okay, so I need some help on this. So I turned to some of my buddies in the industry and I thought to myself, for example, what would Jim Boykin do? Okay, so if you're not familiar with Jim Boykin, he is like a prolific link builder. And if you do know Jim Boykin, you know that he's famous for ninjas. Okay, so he talks about he's got his ninjas building links for it. And I thought about that and I thought, well, really I need a lot of ninjas if I'm going to use the Jim Boykin method of building links. The problem with a lot of ninjas is they disappear in the dark. All right, so they're really hard to find. So it was really tough to kind of figure out how I was going to use ninjas to build links. So, moved on. Oh, before I do, in case you thought that this was a little bit of an unflattering photo to pick for Jim, this is not. This is his trademark look. So that's actually how he wants to be portrayed. So I wasn't picking the worst photo on Google Images. So moving on, Todd Friesen at Oilman, another prolific link builder. But Todd's a little bit black hat, right? So he kind of always looks for how can I do this with the least amount of effort and maximum impact. And Todd also kind of likes to have a little tipple, right? So he's going to buy people drinks, right? And I can say this because he bragged, last time I spoke to him, he bragged that he lives over a bar and that he goes to that bar so often that they invited him to the staff Christmas party. Right? So this is a badge of honor for him. But the problem is, if I start buying drinks to get links, I'm gonna have to buy a lot of drinks. I mean, to get enough links to rank, I'm gonna have to buy a lot of drinks. And oh my gosh, how many drinks would I have to buy people in order to get enough links? That's just not gonna end up too well. So, moving on, a really good friend of mine, Ben Wills. And Ben and I have worked together for many years, and he has a link building tool. And the link building tool, I always have a hard trouble with remembering it. Antelope, no, it's Antelope. It's Antelope. All right, I give him a hard time because it just sounds like it should be some kind of animal like antelope. But he runs a software company called Antelope. If you've not seen it, check it out. Free plug for him. He didn't pay me to say it, but Antelope.com, great link building tool. Ben likes to think a lot. So the reason why his company's name is Ontology is because it's from this, okay? So it's from a formal explicit specification of shared conceptualization. An ontology renders shared vocabulary and taxonomy, which models a domain with the definition of objects and/or concepts and their properties and relations. In other words, this is how Ben would tackle link building. All right, he would use a series of complex algorithms to figure out all the relationships between different websites, which keywords are going to rank, da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's easy for Ben, so I thought I'd give that a try and see how that works out for me. Yeah, my math isn't quite as good as that. So, before I move on with that, I was going to use in my presentation this photo of Ben Wills, but then I saw this photo of Ben Wills, So I decided I would not use this photo in my presentation whatsoever. Moving on. All right, so what would Andy Beal do? Okay, if I don't have those specialities, if I'm not that kind of link builder, what am I going to do? That's a really good question. Well, I'm known for my transparency, right? I'm known for reputation management. Heck, I wrote the book on it, and I've been milking that sucker for the last 4 years. So buy the book, it's still available. Thank you for the clap. Forgotten a lot about that. Thank you. So, reputation management, that's what I do. I also run a software company called Tracker. We're a social media monitoring tool, okay? So now we're kind of starting to get an idea of where I might kind of go with this. So I came up with the topic, how to use social media monitoring as a link building tool. Because you think about social media monitoring to track the conversations that are going online, make sure no one's attacking you, look for positive reviews, that kind of stuff. But we have a lot of people that use our tool, and there's a lot of people out there that are using social media monitoring for link building. So that is the topic for today. I'm like, awesome. Now we're cooking with gas. This is the way to go. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to ask that you do not try that on kids, right? Because that's pretty dangerous. So what I'm going to focus on today is using social media monitoring for link building. And I'm going to try and give you some concepts, some ideas that you've probably, hopefully, not heard of before. Ways that you can kind of listen to what's going on, listen to different conversations to really build out your links and get an advantage over the people that are just doing the hard stuff, like sending out the emails and trying to buy links, that kind of stuff. So we're going to start with working with your existing links. So one of the things we want to keep track of is mentions of your company. Okay, so we want to keep track of any time you're mentioned across the web. That's the first and foremost thing, because that's going to help us with taking advantage of existing links, existing opportunities to help us build links. So the first thing we're going to look for is, yes, someone has mentioned our company in an article or a blog post, but what anchor text did they use? Did they just use your company name? Did they use a keyword that really doesn't benefit you? Yeah, it kind of makes sense, but it's really not helping you to get ranked for the keywords that are important to you. Most of the time, just reaching out to them and saying, hey, really appreciate you linking to us. Thanks for the write-up. Is it possible that you could change the anchor text to this, because it kind of matches up with our core message that we're trying to portray, that kind of thing. You don't have to be totally transparent and say, hey, could you change your anchor text, because I really want to get ranked #1 for this particular keyword, and you guys are going to help me do that. But you can kind of ask them, just be polite and ask them if they consider changing it. They've already written something about you, they've already linked to you. I've used this before. Someone wrote a review of us, and they just used the company name as the anchor text, and I just dropped them a note and said, hey, would you mind switching it to social media monitoring tools as the anchor text? They come back and say, sure, no problem. They get it within a couple hours. So it can work. Check to make sure that they're not pointing to that they're not pointing to the wrong page. So I've actually had situations where they point to the wrong company. That's pretty bad, right? They mention Tracker and then they go point to somebody else because they thought, well, that was the same thing. No, it's not. It's a different company. You're now helping my competition. So make sure that they're pointing to the right page. Make sure it's not broken. I've had situations where they kind of put in a tracking code, or they've misspelled, they've mistyped, something like that. And so ask them if they can change it. Make sure that you're not losing out on that valuable link equity. If there's no opportunity to change it, then what I generally do is make sure that I'm 301 redirecting the broken link to a page that is actually active and more relevant. So if it's a big publication or someone that, maybe it's an old link that you find, and there's just no way they're going to change it, no way they're going to fix that, then go ahead and just use a 301 redirect to permanently direct it. I've gone as far actually as I've had a prominent publication misspell the company domain name, and I went out and purchased the misspelling of the company domain name, and 301 redirected that to Tracker just to take advantage of that. Because why not? It's like $8 a year to take advantage of a pretty decent link. So those are some things you can do with existing links. You can also use social media monitoring to find potential partners, potential link partners. So who's talking about your industry? Who's already talking about topics and keywords related to your company? So start monitoring for those particular key phrases. Start looking at, okay, I want to get ranked for blue widgets. I want to get ranked for Charlotte real estate, whatever it is. Who's already talking about those? Who's mentioning you but not featuring you? There's a difference here. Tracker, for example, was mentioned in an article about social media monitoring alongside 3 or 4 other tools. Well, I thanked them, I nurtured that relationship, and ultimately got the author to write a full article featuring Tracker. That way it's more about us, it's going to convert better, but also there's more opportunity to get links to us. Similar vein, who's talking about you but not linking to you? If you get quoted by a newspaper or a blogger writes an article and quotes you, one of you guys does a review of this talk here, and you don't link to Tracker, I might follow up with you and just say, hey, thanks for doing that, really appreciate it. Would you mind just giving a link to people? Just saves them having to go to Google and type in the name of our company. If you could just link from your article to our site. And by the way, if we've got a choice, then could you use this anchor text? If not, just our company name is fine. The more mainstream the news site or review, the less likely you are to get that preferred anchor text. But it doesn't hurt to ask. And certainly, I would much rather have a link for our company name than no link at all, especially if it's coming from a site that talks about our particular industry. Who's using affiliate links? So who's linking to you because they're using an affiliate link because they're on your affiliate program, okay? So that's one thing. So those are the guys that you may want to reach out to and nurture that relationship, maybe offer them a special promotion to kind of, hey, we're going to give you an additional X percentage on your affiliate check if you could kind of work with us on a review, that kind of stuff. But then also, who's linking to other affiliates? So who's talking about your industry, who's talking about your terms, but linking elsewhere using an affiliate link? That's an opportunity for you to reach out and either get them on your affiliate program or get them just linking to you directly. And you don't have to, for affiliate programs, you don't have to have thousands of dollars and go with Commission Junction or LinkShare or something like that. There's a software out there called iDev Affiliate. It's like $99, and you can host it yourself, create your own affiliate program in a day. And it can be very valuable to kind of have that just to give them an extra incentive. Social media monitoring is also good for keyword discovery. So look for new keyword opportunities. You're monitoring your brand, you're monitoring your products. What else is being discussed? Are there any other types of products out there that you either do offer or you're considering offering that you could potentially focus on to kind of hey, I need to get some links for that because people are talking about it. Someone just mentioned us in this article for this product, but they also write about these other terms as well that we have products for. Maybe I can try and get a link from them in the next time they write about that. Look for long tail terms. I'm always surprised by how journalists and customers and reviewers refer to our product because it may not be the terminology that I use. I want to keep my ear tuned to the phrases, the keywords that our customers are actually using in their reviews, what journalists are actually using in their write-ups. Because that could be a potential keyword. That's better than anything that I type into Google AdWords or any of my keyword research because